I mentioned this earlier, but if you saw the interview we did with Josh, was it Josh Cowan?
Yep.
On Monday about the school voucher movement, so-called school choice movement, how it is really a way to basically just suck U.S. taxpayer dollars and inject it into religious schools for the most part. Subsidize wealthy people going to expensive private schools. He anticipated somebody from Moms of Liberty would be the nominee. It wasn't. Donald Trump, I guess, wanted somebody different for Treasury, and so had to give Howard Lutnick the Commerce Secretary, and that's who he wanted to. He wanted to give Linda McMahon the Commerce Secretary, and he couldn't do that. So he's like, "Well, what's the next biggest thing?" And so this person has absolutely zero experience in education. She sat on one committee board for years ago that had vaguely to do with education, but the rest of her experience was basically in Connecticut. I guess worried about kids, about girls' sports. And Donald Trump announced that she was going to be Secretary of Education. Go back to that interview to see exactly what can happen with someone like this there. But one of the guys who apparently wanted the job and got shut out was a guy named Ryan Walters. He is the Oklahoma superintendent of public instruction. And he put out a video that he required all Oklahoma public school teachers to broadcast in their schools, discussing his policies and doing this. Play this clip.
We've also seen patriotism mocked and a hatred for this country pushed by woke teachers unions. We will not tolerate that in any school in Oklahoma. We want our students to be patriotic. We want our students to love this country. And we want all students' religious liberty to be protected. I will now say a prayer. And to be clear, students, you don't have to join. But if you so wish, I'm going to go ahead and pray.
Pause it for 1 second. I just want to remind you before we hear his prayer. This was a requirement that it be played in. I mean, this is like one of those mandatory anti-union meetings. Nobody's going to have to agree with me, but you're going to have to watch me do the prayer.
There was nothing better in school than when you entered the classroom and they had the TV that was on a cart sort of station, and you thought like, oh yes, we get to watch Bill Nye or something. Imagining expecting like that or Magic School Bus, and it's this freak, doing this sort of indoctrination.
All right, go back a little bit. I want to hear his prayer.
I will now say a prayer. And to be clear, students, you don't have to join. But if you so wish, I'm going to go ahead and pray. Dear God, thank you for all the blessings you've given our country. I pray for our leaders to make the right decisions. I pray in particular for President Donald Trump and his team as they continue to bring about change to the country. I pray for our parents, teachers, and kids that they get the best education possible and live high quality lives. So-called progressives are actually regressive. I also pray that we continue to teach love of country to our young people and that our students understand what makes America great.
I'm not a respected source of information, even for me. Country.
Amen.
Amen. Now, to be fair, another official came out and gave a Muslim prayer, and then one came out and gave a Jewish prayer, and then a Hindu prayer, and a Wiccan prayer. So everybody had an opportunity. That's not true. That's not true.
Oklahoma schools rank low nationally in several metrics, including U.S. News and World Report in 2024. Oklahoma ranked 49th out of 50 states for education. This was due to poor performance in standardized test scores, graduation rates, and higher education.
Sounds like a failure of prayer to me.
49. Well, they're beating one state, so got that.
I have some good news. And so I'm going to tell you. The Democrats have been able to confirm 3 justices over the past couple of days. They have teed up over a dozen more. It's actually sort of funny how this happened because Republicans are really pissed at some of their colleagues in the Senate because a bunch of Republican senators did not show up and did not have the requisite number of people to prevent the Democrats from both A, confirming these justices, and B, moving them into basically a position to be easily confirmed if over the next couple of weeks. And they were pissed. Monday night, they tried to slow down Schumer's attempt to advance, I think it was 14 judicial nominees. These are lifetime appointments. And both Vance and Marco Rubio were not in attendance. I guess they've gone on vacation, and apparently Tom Tillis was very pissed. If we don't show up, we lose. He said, I don't care what the reasons are. We have fewer than 15 scheduled legislative days. You have to show up, period. End of story. There's nothing more important. I mean, he's sort of right. He says we
might be more important.
We've got potentially dozens we could have shoved down our throat, except for us being here. We've got to talk to these folks like adults and show up, essentially. So even Embry Kidd, confirmed to sit on the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, won 49-45, and that's despite Joe Manchin voting with the Republicans. So some good news on that front. I hope they get the National Labor Relations Board slot filled as well. I think they could replace one and a couple others, but they're doing this. I think during the lame duck, the Republicans got filled 45 seats during that time. There are 40 vacancies right now. I don't know how many nominations are in the sort of the pipeline, but to get another 14 filled, Biden will have confirmed, I think, about 10 less judges by the end if we get those 14. That's just off the top of my head. I think Trump did 241. Of course, 3 of those were Supreme Court justices. And I think Biden's somewhere around 231. But to get these ones in, non sort of to spread throughout various circuits and district courts around the country, very important. It's going to be the last beachhead. Right now, something like 2/3 of the judiciary has been appointed, I think, in the last 10 years. And so these are young people. They will be there for a long time. We are getting close to the judiciary we're going to have for decades. And, if you do pray and it works, pray for Sonia Sotomayor. And that for some reason, I don't know.
And if you hex, go for Kavanaugh or something.
Yes, exactly. But, the problem is you're not going to have they're going to be replaced by just another Kavanaugh. It's bad, folks. It's bad, but we will find small victories. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.